I don't have a whole lot to say, so anything you got? Throw it at me. Marco, final game of the series, Pirates. Big game today. I think looking at, I've been impressed with the Pirates ball club. They've got kind of as I expected. Their pitching's been really good. They've got power up and down in their lineup. We did a great job against them yesterday to hold them scoreless. So I don't know what to expect today. Coming in this series, I thought these games would all be low scoring, but we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out today.
Scott, what did you make of how you guys have played collectively on this homestand? Only one loss, and it's a small sample size, but just overall, how you guys have kind of rebounded after a tough series in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think done what we needed to do. Obviously the A's were in town and they're scuffling. We took care of business there. So I think getting a series win today is important. Really not any more important than the first game of the series, anything like that. But you want to, it's a good team over there. It's a young team. I think if we execute, pitch like we're capable of pitching, and some timely hits, we look up and win the series here. And got the Yankees coming in, have a chance to have an awesome homestand. But focus is on today, and again, if Marco, love to see him get us into the sixth inning. It'd be awesome.
It's an interesting momentum game for both teams. They're scuffling, and you're sort of heading that way.
That's the way baseball is. I mean, you look at the teams around the league right now, and it's a matter of everybody has their dips. The Blue Jays are a little bit struggling right now. The Brewers haven't scored any runs, and then you got other teams that are hot. The Giants are smoking right now. That's just the way the game goes. And but I think we played good baseball. I really do. If you look kind of where we were at early in the month, we lost back-to-back games in Toronto. We kind of had a come from behind win there to salvage a game in that series. And from then, I think, it has been pretty stable. I like trending how the direction our offense is going, and certainly that's driven by Julio. But Ty has been more consistent. JP is smoking hot. I mean, like, guys at the top of the lineup are starting to roll, and you want to win a lot of games. Your best hitters need to hit. That's just the way it is.
It's got the stuff that Michigan, the controllable aspects of defense, being there every day, pitching execution. That's been there. I mean, it feels like you've played a cleaner brand of baseball the last 2 or 3 weeks compared to what it was like early.
Yeah, early in the season we were committing errors and doing stuff very uncharacteristic, and we were walking a lot of guys, and we have cleaned that up. And our coaches, we've been on it. And it just sometimes you need to get slapped in the face once in a while. I'm like, whoa, we got to clean this up, and we did. Like I said, I just characterize the free bases. We have really limited the free bases. I think we're one of the better teams in baseball, and not giving up the free bases, and it's critical to playing our style of ball. And I still think there's a lot more left in our offense. Once that gets rolling, it'll make it a little bit easier for us. But again, it's getting better, but the key is, like I said, cleaning up the free bases. Really important.
I can ask you too, on the slide yesterday, you said Julio did the right thing.
Yes.
He was safe on the replay, but did you think you guys also had a...
Yeah, I challenged both.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I challenge both. And when you go out there, you have to tell them right away. You got to challenge both. Challenge the blocking of the plate, and also with challenging and being safe. They came back, they just looked at the first one, and they determined that he was safe, so they never really got into the blocking the plate. But Julio absolutely did the right thing, and I think it's something that we talk to our guys. You've seen our guys, some of our guys in the past will try to slide around the catcher, slide actually past the base, and then touch it with their hand, which is pointless because you've given up maybe 3 to 4 feet. Which, if he'd have done that yesterday, he'd have been out, clearly out. So, really good job by him. Talking about our guys slide right into the base. The catcher really didn't give him a lane to slide. That's why if they wouldn't have given us the, wouldn't have overturned the call, that was wrong. It was clearly he was right in front of the plate.
Yeah, it looked like he was straddling.
Yes. Yeah.
Helps when you have a guy who's built like a tight end, kind of sliding in there too. He said post game, I go 235, so he's gonna feel the hit too.
Yeah, it is. It's different than it was back in the day. I will say that these guys talk a good brand now. Back in the day, that catcher would have got blown out. You just would run right through them. Guys don't do that anymore. They don't have to, and it's a good rule. You shouldn't, because I was on the receiving end of too many of those back in the day when guys would just take you out. But games change in a good way in that regard.
Scott, you've talked a bunch about the adjustments that he's made at the plate, but for how young he is, what does it say about the acumen and baseball IQ to recognize the issues and work to correct those? What you've seen?
Well, I think anybody, young, old, or in the middle, I mean, not getting the results you want, you do need to make some adjustments, and Julio is no different there. Julio's we all know it's very charismatic. He wants to be the guy leading the team up the hill, holding the flag, so to speak, follow me. And it's hard to do that when you're not, playing, maybe as well as he's used to playing. So I really like where he's at the last 5 or 6 games. We're starting to see it come together, and just changes our team from the energy level to what you see down on the field. And he's such a dynamic player. Yesterday, he gets on base. It's a stolen base. He winds up at third. Now all those, literally produced a run by himself without hitting a ball out of the ballpark. There's not many players in the league that can do that. So it's fun to watch. He really is, and I know he's a great player, but he's got that certain the it factor, if you want to call it that, about him. And when he gets rolling, everybody just kind of feeds off it.
He's never really had a stretch like that in his pro career, at least based on the numbers. I know that you would rather have him producing at all times, but can it maybe be good that he goes through a little bit of a lump to kind of learn how to figure out the league in that regard?
Yeah, I think, you have to struggle at times. You're going to struggle. He's going to struggle if he's going to play this game for another 15, 20 years. He's going to struggle again. I hate to tell people that, but it will happen. And when it does, you look back at how did I get out of this last time? Maybe did I press too much early? Did I panic a little bit early? And if you've known you've done it before and gotten yourself out of it before, it's reassuring. Having been down that road, that you can do it and get it moving in the right direction again. So it'll pay dividends in the future, but I love him this way. He's smoking 2 or 3 hits every day and hitting the ball in the ballpark. It's fun.
Who got you the best?
Hit at home plate. Quite a few of them. Ray Durham in a Windy City Classic in Chicago. Smoked me at home plate. It's the guys that were really built that could really run.
Right.
Ray Langford.
And get 90 feet.
Ray Langford got me really good. Probably the hardest I ever got hit was in winter ball, believe it or not. Andres Galarraga.
Really?
Yes. Tag play. Kenny Lofton was playing center field in winter ball. It was in Caracas. And back then, Caracas, I was playing for Magallanes. Caracas had Omar Vizquel playing shortstop. They had Galarraga playing first. I mean, Bobby Abreu was on that team at 18 years old. I mean, there was guys. And I remember it was a shallow fly ball center field. Galarraga take up. I'm like, there's no way he's coming. And Galarraga was a big dude. He could run. They called him the cat for a reason. And he hit me really hard.
Wow. You're going to lose the battle. Physics say you're going to lose that battle
every time. And they just ran right through you.
And that tells you how competitive winter ball was even.
Oh, yeah, it's very, very competitive. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking hanging in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, not real smart.
You were supposed to be the smartest guy on the field, right?
Yeah, that wasn't the case.